Good morning, 4th grade. We are ready for math lesson 147. We are going to start off with our concept cards this morning. So get ready and tell me the answers. What does kilo mean? 1,000. What does deci mean? 1/10. What does centa mean? 1/100th. What does milli mean? 1,000th. What does deca mean? 10. What does hecto mean? 100. 1 centimeter equals how many millimeters? 10. 1 meter equals how many millimeters? 1,000. 1 kilometer equals how many meters? 1,000. 1 hectometer equals how many meters? 100. 1 decameter equals how many meters? 10. What is the freezing point of water Fahrenheit? 32 degrees. What is the boiling point of water Fahrenheit? 212 degrees. What is the normal body temperature Fahrenheit? 98.6 degrees. What is the freezing point of water Celsius? 0 degrees. What is the boiling point of water Celsius? 100 degrees. And what is normal body temperature Celsius? 37 degrees. In our lesson today, we are talking about teaspoon and tablespoon. What is a teaspoon and what is a tablespoon? Well, I have a teaspoon here. A teaspoon is something that you generally use to eat your food, okay? The size of a teaspoon is about perfect for eating. Eating your bowl of cereal, eating your soup. Maybe if you really like to take big bites, you might grab a tablespoon for what you're eating. But you would have to have a pretty big mouth and maybe be pretty hungry. A teaspoon is something that most of us use to eat our food. Now, a tablespoon is bigger than a teaspoon. I don't know if you can see how big these are here, but here's a teaspoon and here's a tablespoon. A tablespoon is something that we generally use to maybe dish out our food, dish out corn out of the serving bowl and put it on our plate. Dish your casserole out, dish out green beans, whatever it is. A tablespoon is good for just getting a nice serving of something, or maybe you take a couple, maybe you fill it up a couple times and dump it on your plate. That works well for that. A teaspoon would probably be a little small for dishing out corn. You might have to dish out like 5 or 8 times until you have enough corn. But then a teaspoon is perfect for just a nice bite-sized food, okay? So, how big is a tablespoon and how big is a teaspoon? And we already discussed this a bit, but how many teaspoons do you think it would take to equal 1 tablespoon? What do you think? This is a tablespoon, this is a teaspoon. So how many do you think it would take? How many teaspoons would it take to equal as much as 1 tablespoon? It takes 3, okay? And that is something that we want to remember. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons, alright? 3 of these equals 1 of these. Now that is what you want to remember from your lesson today. 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. You have a whole first section where you're answering how many teaspoons are in how many tablespoons. So if 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons, then 2 tablespoons is how many teaspoons? 6, right? What about 3? If you have 3 tablespoons, how many teaspoons is that? Just multiply it by 3. It would be 9. What about if you have 10 tablespoons? How many teaspoons would that be? 10 times 3. That would be 30, okay? What if you have 30 tablespoons? What's 30 times 3? That would be 90 teaspoons, okay? So 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. Remember that. You're going to use that in your lesson today. Work your lesson carefully. You also have a quiz today. You have quiz 15. Let me know if you have any questions. Please take your time and do your best, and I will see you in language class.